Hi, Chris here at TT120. It's the April announcement from Hornby, 9 a.m. It's the Class 37s and the new KFAs, what we've all been looking for. Now, I know that some people might be thinking that, we were expecting a much bigger announcement, but it's already been said, it's all over social media. Hornby being very upfront that they were going to do a small announcement, a soft announcement now in January, and then we've got a whole range announcement in April, and then I believe we've got a nice little special happening in October, which is a nice spread. And I think it's going to be less of a hollow promise than we had last year. It's going to be much more content this year, from what I've been told. And like I've said before, I don't realise there's no reason for them to lie to me. It's going to be a great year. And it's starting off really well. Taking a little break from getting this thing ready for Doncaster, Camelot. Happy with the lock scene. We'll have a little chat about it later on. But let's talk about the 37s, which are now available to pre-order. Link below if you want to get straight onto it. If you want to go straight down to the TMC's website, you can also, of course, go to the Hornby website as well. Let's have a look at them, shall we? Let's get on with it. Right, okay, so we've got TT3035M. This is the BR Class 37. Coco, obviously they're a Coco diesel electric. The Lock Rannoch 37408. This is the big BR logo, and all in blue. Beautiful. I think the North Yorkshire was a restored one. Not dissimilar to this, although it has some detailed differences on the nose there when it comes to the griddles and things, but the colour scheme is exactly the same. And what a beautiful! So I've seen this. This goes past my works window. It's beautiful. Well, one like this. Anyway, I'm definitely buying one, and I might renumber it. Oh no, the rivet counters will be complaining. Now this is now the recommended retail price. This is the DCC ready version is £159.99. I think the TMC is £143.99. Probably the same at other retailers as well, because everything gets a 10% discount to match the point system at Hornby. They've also brought this version out in the XXX sound, so the TXSM, which I get retails at the TMC at £193.49. This is down from the recommended retail price of £214.99. So it's a more expensive loco than the 66s, but I think it's a real stunner. It's got a super level of detail, a lot more going on with it. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed. It's a heavy loco too, from what Carl told me at Hornby. Now, next livery, which is an older livery, it's the green, the D6 700 and the BR green. Now, this will quite happily be running around with the late BR steam loco, so that's a really, I think, a good pick out from Hornby, and obviously the green, the recently released green 08. This one, interestingly, it's only available in DCC ready, but I get the feeling historically a lot of the steam loco guys are still a big proportion of DCC, sorry, that are using DC, using their DCC ready locos without a decoder. So it kind of makes sense if they're going to drop a decoder version, maybe this is the one to do it, because there's possibly more customers buying it and going to use it in DC. Of course, if you want to add a decoder and you don't fancy doing it yourself, the TMC will do it for you, and also we can stick in power banks. Well, obviously we will need to crack one open, but the new range of small power banks that are coming out from Hornby, from DCC Concepts, the AE versions, and Trailomatics Nano. These are all really good options for small decoders, for power banks that will help with Bluetooth connectivity and getting over frogs and all that kind of stuff. Next one. Now, this is an interesting one. I was hoping they might go for the Intercity. This is the EWS Class 37. This is the 37704 in that. It's the EW and S, so this is before it all got bought out, I think, and made EWS. So if it's that EW and S, this is late 90s. Which will go, so, but again, they've done a DCC ready version and a sound fitted version as well. Now, what would run with this stuff? Well, I guess obviously with the green 08, you know, your dark red Mark 1s will go with that perfectly well, right, all over the country. And then of course with the big blue BR blue one, that one, it's going to be the Mark IIs that are in the blue and grey. They're going to be a great match for that. The EWS, I don't really think, apart from maybe at some of today, some of the where they're restored, I think you're more likely that prototypically you're probably going to find them pulling things like the hopper wagons that Hornby produce. Whether an EWS 37 ever pulled the Revolution trains box wagons, I'm not sure. They probably were around. There certainly were some 37s that got put back into service in the late 2000s, sorry, the mid 2000s to late 2000s, and those wagons came out in sort of 2016 or something. So there may have been a bit of crossover. Can't find a reference for it. They'd be fun to pull them. Hey, in this colour scheme, they'd be fun to pull TMC's special Touax wagon in that maroon colour. A little bit of a... Is that okay, Howard? Right. Now, let's move on. Now, something else that's been very interesting is obviously the Touax KFA container wagons. Now, there's been a little bit of a flurry recently because Arnold brought some new ones out. But now Hornby are bringing these bad boys out. The first one, TT6030, this has 3 20-foot containers, one of which is a fluid, is some kind of liquid tank, but in a 20-foot frame. Then you've got that same 20-foot frame in with TT6031, and this time with a 40-foot container. And you've also got TT6032 3 times 20 ton containers. Now, the good thing about buying these is that you can have a bit of a muck about. You can actually put some of these 20-footers alongside the 40-footers that we've already got. Is that right? Can we do that? Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, because there are the holes. These chassis are the same, so you can have a shuffle around. You could replace one of those containers with one of the other containers. I think you'd have some fun with that. Right, so that's, now they are, what are they? They're, so recommended retail price $54.99. TMC are doing them at $49.49. Superb. Now they'll pull obviously behind all the lovely 66s that have been brought out, whatever your choice is. I'm hoping, I think there's been some sort of conversation about them changing that front clip-on bib on the 66s, so it's got a slightly wider slot, so you've got a bit more movement, or an extension of the NEM socket, so that you can, so that we don't have that buffer lock, because the buffers on the container wagons are more prototypical, they're a bit longer. I'm not exactly sure what their fix is. I do think that they plan on sending out, they're changing all the new ones to have slightly longer fittings so things don't lock up. I've got a feeling that someone told me that they might possibly be sending out packs to people who've bought the older ones that do lock with an extended connector, so you can clip that in so that it makes them work. Or of course you can just change the whole things out for magnetic couplings from Westall Wagon Works and use a longer coupling. That's what I'm doing with them, because I'm going to use the longer easy shunts from Daypol on my actual locos. So I'm not even particularly worrying about the Hornby ones, but I know a lot of you are sticking with Hornby's coupling system, and that's absolutely fine, obviously. These are fantastic. It's really exciting news. The CAD work we saw on these ages ago, this is something that Louis worked on, who's now at Revolution Trains, and we know that they did 9 detailed variations. So I can only assume from that in the future we'll see another 3 liveries, and then some further in the future we'll see another 3 liveries. So I think we get a lot more to come from the 37s. TT120, is it dead? Don't be daft. It's going from strength to strength. Anyone wants to come up and say hello at Doncaster? I'll be sharing my little stand space. I won't be in peachy top. I'll be in my SDRM top, my Scarborough District Railway Modeller's top, because I'm there with my club. I'm also sharing a little bit of footage of my space with Jenny Kirk. She'll be doing a live stream on the Saturday, so you want to come along and say hello. She'll be doing, I think that's coming out on the TMC's YouTube channel rather than hers. I'm not 100% sure. No doubt she'll do some of her own content for her own channel, if anybody you subscribe to the Monday Club. What else is going on? Well, on this layout, there's going to be a lot of BR stuff. It's all going to have been deluxe weathered at the TMC, and anything you see on this layout, apart from my 1 or 2 little bespoke things I've done myself, the majority of it you'll be able to buy at the show from the TMC stand. I think the Doncaster show is going to be fantastic. It's one of my favourites. Can't believe I started this journey 2 years ago there. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's going to be a bit weird, not being behind a layout at such a big show. I hope people are nice to me. Talking of showing stuff at the show, I think Gary Hall is planning on bringing some of his bespoke specials that he's made. I've got a switch I can flick, stick a little Gauge Master combi into this. The whole thing flicks over to DC. So I think Gary's going to come and run a few little bits and bats of his stuff on there for fun, do a little bit of content for his YouTube channel. If you ever look at Gary Hall's channel and some of the stuff that he does, he's made quite a lot. I can't remember, it seems like hundreds of locos, 3D printed locos using the Hornby various chassis and various other, N-gauge wheels, and very clever mucking about kind of stuff. So we're having some fun with Gary there as well. Okay, guys, look at the description below. You'll find my affiliate link for the TMC, and just search for those codes. So as a reminder, TT3035M, TT3035TXSM, TT3036M, TT3037M, TT3037TXM, TC6030, TT6031, and TT6032. Now, will we get peaks in viewing, or will we get dips in viewing for that bit? Let's wait and see. Don't forget to leave some comments. Tell me what you think about these new locos. And if you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the little bell for announcements and all that malarkey. And cheery bye.
And that is all there is to tell. I'll be on my way now, sir. I've got urgent business in the south. I have to meet a man at Mobile Junction.